Now, who are you to vote for? That's a big question. First of all, vote for competence. Vote for delivery. Who is it that can competently lead this nation? Who are the ones who can bring us out of mess, out of riots, out of killings, out of corruption? Find out. But get your card ready. We vote for competence. Number two, we vote in defense of the faith. The faith. You know how much the church has suffered the last 8 years. Killings upon killing. Killings in Plateau. Killings in Taraba. Killings in Benue. And largely in Christian communities. Killings now gone to the south. In Ondo State. And several other places where people are being killed silently without us knowing. Vote in defense of the faith. Vote only for people who can defend our faith. And what more? Vote for individuals who care for other ethnic groups and not focusing only on Fulanis. Hear it very clearly. All the ones who have been killing people, have you heard that any of them was arrested? No, you won't hear that. You won't hear that. You won't hear that. How many officials went to Owo to go and sympathize with the community where they kill people? Let's be wise. If anybody tells you now that there is no religion in politics in this country, they are deceiving you. So bring out your faith. Don't hide it that you are voting for your faith. Don't hide it. Till tomorrow I will vote for my faith. I will vote for my faith. I won't vote for somebody who will slaughter me. I will vote for my faith. Now.
All right, so the notion of whether or not politics and religion should be kept apart is highly controversial in today's world. While religion has often been ignored as an important political factor, it is becoming increasingly clear that it plays a substantive role in the world's politics, both internationally and locally. Now, according to an article titled Religion and Politics, Integration, Separation, and Conflict, both religion and politics have one common goal, that is to acquire political power and use it to fulfill their aims. However, to achieve this objective, their methods are different. Religion mobilizes religious sensibilities of people in order to get their support to capture power, while politics uses intrigue, diplomacy, and makes attempt to win public opinions, either democratically, if the system allows it, or usurp power with the help of the military or army, if the society is underdeveloped and backward. Now today we are asking this question: if religion should be in politics, as the clergyman Bishop Bioye of the Living Faith Church had said, right? That we should not be deceived if we think that religion is not in politics, right? So now please, let's hear what you have to say. Remember, you can join the conversation. Send us an SMS or WhatsApp to 081-803-4663. You can also tweet at us at WaysShowAfrica1 with the hashtag WaysShow. All right, so this is a very interesting conversation because every now and then issues around religion and politics comes to the fore. And because it is our duty on this show to continue to sensitize young people on what needs to be known, like give them some level of literacy when it comes to issues around governance and politics, I couldn't help but, you know, take on this conversation, because when I saw the video and it surfaced, I said, okay, wow, this is a conversation right here. Because we keep on talking and saying that, churches should stay in the church, pastors should stay in the this, but I mean, this is a clergyman that has a huge following, right? Coming out to tell you clearly that now it is no longer, they're not even, I will vote my faith. When I hear him say I will vote my faith, meaning that I will vote a Christian into power. But let me hear your initial thoughts.
Okay, so how about what Martin Luther King said about voting for the content of character? instead of voting for faith. Because we already understand that religion is a part of politics in Nigeria. If even everywhere else, when they talk about Republicans and Democrats, they talk about the people
Trump use religion to get
exactly. They still keep using it. It works for them in all ways. If religion wasn't part of politics, how come they're trying to say that whoever your running mate is cannot really be in the same faith as you are? Most times, as I don't know if it's even part of our constitution or if they just came up with it. If the Muslim is the ticket holder, they will say no, the running mate has to be a Christian. Why is it about religion and not more about the character of these people that we're trying to vote into office? Religion has failed us woefully. The people that even introduced it to us have more or less taken their hands away from the religion. With the churches that we have, the mosques that we have, the whole expressway and highway from Lagos to Ibadan is filled with all kinds of camps. We keep binding and casting, and we still haven't found a decent human being to rule our country. It's not about faith. It's about character.
And competence. Absolutely. All right, let me come to you, Isi.
Like they said, gave us a synopsis of practically what I was going to talk about, which has to do with competence and character. And we also need to understand something about this, that religion does, we all understand that religion does influence politics, whether we like it or not, across all border, because in the UK, in the US, wherever we find ourselves, religion has a huge role to play in influencing politics. Now, the key thing is, does it cause conflict in politics, or it causes fusion, whereby everybody comes together with one voice? That is another thing we should also take into cognizance in this context. Voting for your faith is one thing, but voting for character and competence is what we actually need here right now. We need a Nigerian leader who will actually take us from this abyss, like I stated last week. We need somebody who can take us from this abyss of insecurity in the country, and we need a situation whereby we can actually interact with our leader without feeling some form of, without us being scared, or without us feeling that we've been neglected. We need a leader who has empathy for Nigerians, basically, based on what we are currently going through. And does that cut across religion? No. It cuts across character and the individual in power. So it has a lot to do with character.
Okay, so let me hear your thoughts, Noma, your initial thoughts on this.
Well, I agree to the extent that religion plays a significant role in our life in general, including politics, and we've seen how it has played out over the years in different countries or climes and all of that. Religion is a part and parcel of the way of life of a people. And then when you talk about politics, and then just to go back a little, our faith and our practices are supposed to be somewhat sacred. They're the things that make us to actually, or help us to live out the kind of values you mentioned, character, competence, and all of that. Live it in such a way that it is productive for humanity, right? And then you talk about politics, which is activities that involve getting or using power to in public life to be able to influence people's decisions and affect a country, so to speak. So when you put these two together, it's like creating a platform where people can influence fellow countrymen and women, right? So the question is, should religion be in politics? The truth is that over years, you cannot separate religion from politics now, because politics is a way of influence. And religion, when people see somebody who is religious and has a level of influence, they would gravitate towards that person, and he can have influence over others. So it's not going to go anywhere. Religion and politics are going to continue to be at par with one another, where religious leaders can come out, make statements, and their followers will actually take those statements as sacred. We were talking about Father Mbaka the other day when he made a statement towards the presidential aspirant of Labour Party, P2B, and he said the flag bearer, and he made a statement, and that stirred up something, right? Even his followers, a number of them agreed to what he said. Oh, we don't want a stingy man. And so your words can actually, they actually have power, and they can influence the people that you're holding onto. So it's not going to go anywhere, because politics and religion work hand in hand to actually get the desired goal of the people that use it.
Okay, so I was going to ask that, are you in support of us voting in the line of our faith? Because now he made a statement, he said, defend
your faith.
You must defend your faith. You must care. You must vote someone that cares about other ethnic groups apart from, and he was very specific about Fulani, you know, and he says, when he mentioned about the visit to Owo, if I remember my head correctly, the only two people that went to Owo
the
vice president and the APC presidential flag bearer. That is a Muslim, right? So, I mean, if you were talking about visit, but it's just that he is not an official. The vice president is an official. Yes. Because the vice president went in the official capacity to go as the vice president of the
behalf of the president.
Yes, on behalf of the president, right? So he visited the church in Owo, right? So I mean, he made very strong allegations that, and in fairness, right? The accident, or no, I won't call it accident, the attacks
yes,
has happened over the years. The ones that have felt it the most are the people in the Christian communities.
Yes.
I mean, when you talk about the
in
churches,
Kaduna,
in Jos, in you know, all the northern, all the bombings and all of that. Have you really heard anybody going into a mosque to bomb? You know, I've not really heard it. I don't know, maybe somebody correct me if I'm wrong. But a lot of the killings and the bombings and the whatever, the massacre has been
to the Christian
in the
faith.
church, right? So, I mean, so when he then says, bring your faith, be proud of your faith, right? Vote your faith. So, is this like almost getting us to that point where we say, you know what, I don't think you have my back anymore, because we have trusted the system and we have said, okay, let us be a secular community. Whoever goes into power, as long as the person is competent and the person can deliver on the job, let's vote. But now we're seeing that it seems like the attack is more lopsided. So the attack is more
almost targeted.
We understand the attack being lopsided, and it happens worldwide. That you would find that most times is the Muslim. Forgive me, but it's what I have seen. If I'm wrong, please correct me. It's the Muslim faith that you tend to find have terrorists who tend to bomb people and claim that it's because of what Islam taught them to do. They call them extremists, but they tend to be in the Islamic faith. We cannot get away from the fact that religion was brought in, or was introduced to us to help with community and to help with the building up of family values and what we're supposed to do, and society. And a lot of gatherings when politics was going to start coming into play, going back to as far back as when they were trying to sort out slavery issues in America, and they had taught these Africans their faith in Christianity. It was inside the churches that the slaves found solace and started talking about how the revolution was going to start to get them their freedom. So faith has played a part in getting gatherings together. But the man that has spoken about vote your faith, in his own faith, who can he categorically say, name 3 or 5 people that have stood the test of time in showing us what their character was really made of, and showing that they really cared more about humanity than their zones? We can't really say we've had anybody whose faith was what showed us that they were doing what they were supposed to do for humanity and for Nigeria as a whole.
I'm trying to create a balance here, because I know everybody's shocked. Sorry, Isi, I'll come to you. I'm trying to create a balance here, right? Let us just be realistic and not be sentimental with this conversation, right? Looking at the event in the since 2015, right? There has been some level of brazen audacity, right? As a Christian, you are afraid of going to the church. Do the Muslims feel that way? Are they afraid of going into a mosque?
I don't think
so. We need to be very clear. So when somebody is coming out to say that, vote your faith, it should get me as a leader worried that have we gotten it this bad, that we have lost our values, our our what's it called, the humanity in us, that it has gotten to this level where everybody say, okay, oh, it is my own pack.
But it's not faith that is going to protect us from what we've actually experienced. No, I understand. Peace. Yes. I understand what you're saying, because he's saying that vote your faith, because it seems now that we're totally divided and that we haven't been protected. And the people that seem to be tormented or seem to belong to a particular kind of religious sect. But so at this point, should we now not gather ourselves in numbers, so that at least there's sort of like it's like almost trying to create an army, but the clear path is religion. Let it be these people against these people. Even as we have stood with the number of people we have voting our faith and attending churches, our way has not been violence.
Okay, so let me hear Isi's thoughts, because she's been trying to come in for a minute. Isi, go ahead.
All right. Thank you. What I wanted to say was this, that, you know, there have been bombings in the mosque. There have been bombings in the mosque. From my research here, I can see that it was done in 2014 in Kano. So there has been bombings in the north. And to also buttress another point, which has to do with past leadership, we have had we have talked about the fact that we needed somebody who has empathy for the people. Even when there was some sort of kidnap done in the north, I think this was last year, and the president was actually in that vicinity at that point in time. He didn't go there until people made a lot of noise. So I think it has a lot
to do with the individual. Okay, thank you so much.
It has a lot to do with the
individual. I hear the phone lines.
Empathy and the individual.
Absolutely. Yes. I hear the phone lines are buzzing. Let's just quickly go on a very short break. We'll open our phone lines when we return. Stay with us. Alright, so if you just tuned in, it's Our Ladies Night Out, and based on the video that surfaced of Bishop David Abioye of the Living Faith Church talking about voting your faith, you know, voting your faith, protect your vote, and bring your faith to politics, right? We are asking, should religion be in politics? Now, please, let's hear what you have to say. Remember, you can join the conversation. Send us an SMS or WhatsApp to 081-803-4663. Please, when you call, I give the permission to my guys in the MCR. If the TV is not down, please cut off the call, because we can't hear ourselves and we waste time on that. Turn up the volume of your television set so we can hear ourselves. The number to call is 070-2500-7749. That's the number to call. Let's be very specific on the conversation. So he's saying, bring your faith to the voting polls, right? Do not hide your faith anymore. Let's stop hiding. I am saying that he's coming from a place of, we are tired, and this is almost like, it seems like nobody's going to protect us but ourselves. So now we have to go on that route, all out and all of that. So somebody was correcting me about the mosque, right? Isi, you mentioned about the mosque.
Yes.
Okay, so there was a bombing, but you see, it's not as rampant. It's not as like the way
in comparison.
The comparison is like a what's it called? A drop in the
7-to-1 ratio.
Absolutely. So comparing the incidents is almost insignificant compared to the number of Christians that have been killed. Attacked. I mean, look at the killings consistently that happens in southern Kaduna. It is targeted at the Christians. The southern Kaduna is mainly Christians that live there. You know, there's no Muslim, or we barely have Muslims in those communities, right? So I'd like to take our first caller from Lagos, I believe. Youngest old man. He's our first caller all the time. Thank you for calling. Go ahead. Hi.
But I know being a first caller gives the kind of joy. You end up listening to everybody and anything they have to say after what you said. So it's very nice for us to be ahead of others. However, your topic today is something that I have to be a little bit cold about. You see, this thing we're talking about today, which is religion, is very, very sensitive. The psychological concept of our people in religion is above board. I just wish this kind of energy we are talking about education and the educated and the enlightened and the unenlightened. because religion has not solved anything as an individual belief for me. What has changed things in life is education. You feed people, you detain them psychologically because you want them to be in a certain religious sect so that they will know no more than they know. You understand me? And when they are in that place, you use them anytime you want, you toy with them, you use, you dump, you use, you dump. It's a kind of, people are gaining from this thing and they will do anything to stop it. All I want to tell the country today, and if anybody listening today, is that they should take themselves out of that, they should emancipate themselves from that mental slavery of religion. Let me tell you, religion will not take anybody to heaven. In fact, God don't even need your religion. A lawyer came to the court today with his native regalia, and I watched him and he spoke and I understood more things. So I respect you more of your behavior and attitude than your religion, because you might even be on the pulpit doing a lot of things, or be in the mosque doing a lot of things that are negative. So for me, religion doesn't even shake me at all. I don't send. But one thing I want people to know is that they should be obedient to truth. I hope you're understanding the political word there. Yes. They should be obedient to truth, and they should be obedient to maturity. And they should understand that the truth is one thing that will stay, and everybody respects truth. And that is knowing what is good and doing what is good. Forget religion.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Quickly.
It's interesting how the conversation is going, because religion, I mean, I think the bishop has gotten to that point where he feels that he can, that it is no longer about unity. It is now a situation of who will represent us. So it's no longer
who will keep us alive.
Yes, because he kept hammering.
Yes, I don't want to vote somebody that will kill me.
I don't want to vote for someone that will kill me. And it seemed, and that was a little bit targeted, because that means for all of the killings, we hardly had a situation where the president went out to commiserate with some of the people, either the families of people who were killed or the people who were kidnapped. So it seemed that this government, or the governance of the times, does not it only represent a certain people. And that's why he is using his religious position to rally people to vote in a certain direction.
Absolutely. Let me take Engineer Musa, sorry. Engineer Musa from Adamawa State. Thank you so much. Assalamu alaikum.
Hello.
Hi.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Loud and clear.
I hear you, sir.
Yes, my name is Engineer Musa from Adamawa State.
Oh.
Very happy to see you. Seriously, there is no way politics will not do with religion. Religion is part of politics, and politics is part of religion. The truth about it is, anytime you have religion in politics, it is well appreciated, because when the righteous is on the throne, the followers will rejoice. So I want to call our mind as Nigerians to put our faith together and choose a leader that fear God, not an ordinary person that we don't know his faith. We need to have person that fear God, because without fearing God, people will suffer. That is the truth about it. People are always looking for money. They are choosing people because of money. But we need to understand that it is good to pray and choose a leader that fears God.
Thank you.
Let us not go after money. I am warning my people, especially in the north. I am a Christian, and we need to choose a leader that fears God, that knows the way.
So I just want to ask you, Engineer Musa, are you afraid when you go to the church every Sunday?
Look at what is happening now.
Oh, did we lose him? Sorry. I was going to ask him, because again, I mean, so let me take some comments. Someone says, there was a bombing in what's it called? There was a bomb blast in Kano sometimes last year, sometimes ago, and that was a mosque. And it says the people that were kidnapped in the train, they were both Christians and Muslims. So it's not targeted at a particular religion. But it's just that, you see, the numbers, right? And I would like, thankfully the Northerners are calling, right? People that are living in the heart of, the core north, they are the ones that are feeling this thing. So if they tell you that they are afraid to go to church, they are afraid to go and worship, there's no freedom of worship any longer, you would understand where the bishop was coming from when he said, you know what, at this point, I'm going to vote the person that keeps me alive. Right? Yeah.
Yeah, so even if you say that you're voting, which is that statement of who keeps me alive should be the most important thing he said, not so much the faith. Because it could be anybody. We just need somebody that has the strength, the authority, and the presence of mind to deal with whatever comes our way that is negative and is affecting most Nigerians, regardless of what religion it is. Because if you're saying vote faith, if the person votes faith and is more what do they call it, more
it's
amorous towards a particular faith, it still doesn't solve the problem. So vote someone that you know that when he says we're going to deal with you, we're going to deal with
regardless
you
of your faith.
Regardless of your faith, and we stop commiserating with people. We start dealing with the people that have
let me take
pain.
Felix from Benue State, I believe. We have a lot of new callers today. Oh, sugar, I think we lost the call. Okay. Yeah, I get you, right? And I want to come to EC because, again, I remember when Obasanjo was, because that's the only memory I have, when I went through the Sharia crisis in Kaduna. He was the government, he was the president in charge. And the governor of Kaduna State, Makarfi, was a Muslim. But you see, at every point in time where the crisis erupted, it was immediate action. It was not about who was in the helms of affair. It was the fact that there was prompt response, right? So again, if I go to Kaduna now, and this is me being just 100% honest, with the last time I visited Kaduna in December, right, 2021, December, I went to Kaduna. I drove around that state, and I can tell you for free, right, the northern part of Kaduna has seen so much more development than the southern part of Kaduna. Who are the main occupants of the southern part of Kaduna? It broke me because this is what we are saying, and it's not supposed to be. Because I am from Edo State does not mean that if I'm president tomorrow, Edo State should be flourishing. No, you are first Nigerian before any other thing. You're first Nigerian before you're a Christian. You're first Nigerian before you are a Yoruba, Igbo, Hausa, or whatever. So if we start to push that, let's start to think Nigeria first, it will go a long way.
Let's think humanity first. Let's think humanity first.
Unfortunately, the mindsets that we have.
Well, I wanted to come to EC. Sorry, Norma, just give me a minute. EC, you wanted to say something quickly.
Well, I was going to say something, but let Norma say what she was.
Okay, so let me
say. Then I'll say what I have to say.
Okay. Let me just quickly take Austin, then I'll come to you, Norma. Norma, Austin, you're live.
Okay. Good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah, okay, so the truth is that we have mixed religion with politics in this country, and it's not good for us. What we should do is to look out for someone who will deliver good governance to us, someone with good set of character, someone that can, just take care of this country. If you check, we have, talking about religion now, we have religious extremists in both Christianity and Muslim. And if you look at it critically, even the people that have been killed so far in this country, they are still Muslims. Actually, there was a time when they wanted to cause a religious war by going after the Christians. When it didn't work, they now started killing their Muslims as well.
Themselves.
So we have to be very, very careful. But in all of this, religion has divided this country and ethnicity. So I think what we should do is to restructure this country. Ultimately, that is what will save this country.
Thank you. Talking about structure.
I don't know. Maybe
thank you so much, Austin.
Will do that.
Thank you so much. Talking about structure, somebody says if we do not fix our constitution, finally we'll still be discussing religion. regionalism, nepotism, and all the things that that divides us and makes us walk on tightrope on the way to a prosperous existence. Now he says, I hope it won't be too late by the time we wake up to do the needful. Talking about, let's take comments please quickly.
All right, I've got several comments here. It says, hello ladies, any serious modern nation state must be secular. The most advanced countries are secular, where religion is relegated to private affairs. The most underdeveloped barbaric countries are religious. When you mix religion with illiteracy, it becomes toxic. In Nigeria, Islam and majority illiterate followers is similar to Christianity and blind followership. Religion is used to fan sentiments in Nigeria. This is from Ufoma.
Okay, so let me take Charles from Port Harcourt, then I'll come back to the comments. You're live.
Good evening.
Hi, good evening.
Well,
go ahead.
Well, the issue, religion and politics, well, religion and politics, they've always been together. We've been managing it so all this while in this country. It has not really been that obvious. I mean, managing it to some extent that there's not really been an issue that much. But I think in the past 8 years or 7 years thereabouts, since 2015, when this government came on, it became so very obvious. It became a very big issue. If you look the way our politics is being played today, there's a lot of division. Our politics is being played currently now on ethnic and religious line, which is not really doing us very well. That's divided the country more along those lines. And I think the body language of this present government has really helped in fueling it. And I think going forward, we have to look at people we elect in our public offices. Let it be people that are neutral, not at the extreme of even if it's a Christian, and not at the extreme even if it's a Muslim. The reason why I'm saying this, why as if this government has really helped in fueling it, is that if there was some time Alafin of Oyo was complaining, I think of blessed memory, was complaining that there's many people that were causing this problem in Iganga, in Oyo State. Many of them are arrested, and at the end of the day, they were all released. He complained it was on media. They were released without no accountability. They were not tried. Look at how the people that have been killed. How many of them have been arrested? So even some of them, at the end of the day, they will through one funny way they will be released. So going forward, I think the people we elect in our offices, we should be very mindful of the kind of people we elect.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
All right, so please, we're playing on dangerous grounds. Do your research very well before discussing the topic. Where did you get your figure of more Christians and no government has built more infrastructure in the South than this government? Is Evans a Muslim or something? I don't understand. So I don't get your question. So when you construct your question properly, you share it. If you were referring to what I said about Kaduna, I lived in Kaduna. I was born in Kaduna. I grew up there until marriage brought me to Lagos State. And I'm telling you that the way I saw things, it's almost like I couldn't recognize some part. Some part were exactly the way I left it when I left it many years ago. So
And
please,
it just happened to be
I don't
the
talk
southern
out
parts.
of what I do not know, if that is what you're referring to. Let's take more comments.
Someone had said, we have never been as divided as we are today. This division cuts across virtually every line of divide. The sensitivity is brought forth by vivid happening where Christians feel helpless, while claimers of the other faith kill, kidnap, etc., and do other dastardly acts without fear. That's from Tayo in
Let me take Mohammed from Kaduna State, then I'll come back to the comments. Mohammed. Please, can you guys cut up? Take your comments. Yeah, go ahead. You're live.
Hello, good evening. How are you?
Go ahead. You're live.
How are you doing today?
We're good.
Please. Okay. What you guys are talking about is a very interesting and very sensitive topic.
Okay, we have Tony from Munich in Germany. He started off saying that, have we decided who we're voting 2023? That religion hasn't helped anybody since yesterday, and it will not help anyone tomorrow. Please, we need sound men of vision and women of vision also who can speak to power. We need people who are more concerned about humanity. We need people who are more concerned about keeping us alive, keeping us sane, keeping us well, instead of considering where they came from. Because when they start thinking of where they came from, where faith is concerned, then it's being selfish. Yes, and sentiments start coming in. You can't start doing, being a case of us against them.
Be a leader for all.
Yes, it can't be us against them. It won't help us.
Let's take more comments. Good evening, my beautiful sisters. What are you saying? The question is, should religion be in politics? To me, the answer is no. We can only pray for God to cause a change in the system. This present government was not what we prayed for. There is no crime in voting for our faith, but we need to know those people that will really bring a change to our country, Nigeria. We need to really know them. All right, so let's quickly take your comments, EC, then Norma, I'll come back to you.
Okay, it says, our leaders, there's no name here, it says our leaders has caused us a lot of problems into Nigeria. They brought a lot of problems into Nigeria because of their selfish interests. The present administration starts it to enter power. I think he's trying to say.
Okay, so let me read
the
it.
present
It says,
administration started well when they came into power, and now it's causing us a lot of problems.
All right, so it says, why church are attached and our leaders keep quiet? Attacked, rather, he means. Our leaders keep quiet. Check or what? Do you see any Muslim leader? I mean, Muslim leaders in power? No. So he says, please vote Christian. The devil you know is better than the angel you do not know. To get into power in Nigeria, you need to use religion for you to get into power. So he then I don't know your name, but you sent your comment. No, I'll come to you 1 minute. Good evening, ladies. As a Christian, we have lived in denial for so long, and time has come to put the conversation on the front burner. Otherwise, the killings will continue. This is from Kenneth from Angola. So are you insinuating that we should vote Christians? But let me take your comments, Norma.
Okay. All right. It says, greetings, ladies. Classic example in the Bible, the Good Samaritan had compassion to take care of the injured. Priests and other notable people in the society passed by without rendering any help. Character is supreme. This is from Benson. And then another one says, ladies, our desired leader must simply be able to demonstrate Brian Tracy's 10 C's: clarity, competence, concentration, common sense, creativity, consideration, consistency, commitment, courage, confidence. How many of the current aspirants demonstrate these qualities?
Okay, Toby from Lagos, our final caller for the evening. Let's hear your call. Or let's hear what you have to say. Tommy, you're live. Go ahead, please.
Okay. Hello.
You are live. We can hear. Go ahead.
All right. So I want to say something. I'll quote from the Bible. Can you hear me?
Go ahead, quickly.
All right. So from Proverbs 29 verse 2, and it's loaded. It says, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn. That's exactly what we are experiencing in Nigeria now. The wicked is in power and we are mourning. I won't say more than that.
Okay. Okay, so let me define righteous. Right? Characterized by uprightness or morality. Morality or justifiable. Everything about righteousness does not speak to religion. Everything about righteousness speaks to character, uprightness. Character. So when you say when the righteous is in power, I am sure God was trying to say when someone that has humanity, when the right person, people are in power. So I don't want us to limit it to religion, but quickly.
I please want people to get into the mindset of thinking about having a heart for the people. It's not about your religion at all. It's having a heart for the people. Be your brother's keeper. I can't believe that we have a head of state or a president who had been head of state as a military person, and we have people terrorizing Nigerians with guns and bombings, and nothing has ever been done. To the point where he's vexed enough in his spirit to pick up arms and say, if this is what it takes, it's what it takes to save our people. You sit down there and every single day you are commiserating. Yet nobody commiserates with me. Let someone pick up arms and fight this battle with me so that it stops. How many people are they going to kill before we get frustrated and start talking about religion? It's not about religion now. Absolutely. If you want to live by the sword, you die by the sword. If we know and recognize you as somebody that is terrorizing Nigerians, then we hold you and start killing as well. Maybe when we start sieving out the bad from the good, then we can start talking, and then we can come to the table, and because we've been talking for too long, and it's not sorting anything out.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. On that very
passionate I would like to say one thing.
On that passionate note, Issy, we ran out of time.
Can I say something?
Oh, sorry, darling, we've run out of time. Don't worry, this topic we will keep on bringing it. I told you people before. It says, good evening, ladies. Who brought the idea of if a Christian is a president, the vice is a Muslim? Why is it not if a man, if it is a man, otherwise, other vice should be a woman? All right, this is from Iyore, so she's bringing it at a different angle. All right, thank you so much, ladies. Right. Thank you, Issy. Thank you, Norma. Thank you, Lydie. On that very passionate note, we're going to end the show. Thank you to everyone that called into the conversation. Now, before we go, ensure you follow us on Instagram at PlusTvAfrica. You can interact with us further, drop your comments, and more importantly, follow all our engagements. You can also follow us on Twitter. I won't vote for someone who will slaughter me. I will vote for my faith. Vote your faith. This is from Bishop David Oyedepo. Let me not go and give name to who. Lydie is a bit teary. It's fine. It is well. We are going to get it right in this country, and let us actually start to think humanity. Let's put lives on the, at the front burner. We'll see you guys live at 8 p.m. tomorrow as we bring another great conversation to your screen, Pele.